Hey guys, welcome to Clockwork Noodles. Welcome back for another breakdown of the Ancient Magus Bride Season 2, Episode 6. Before we kick off, I want to make sure that you guys know I am ill. So if I sound weird, I am so sorry. But I did not want to not do a video after today's episode gave us so much. I'm here to power through it. I promise you I'm going to be taking some soothers or something for my throat after this, which is going to lead into my question anyway. Today's question is going to be an easy one. Do you guys have any local cold old wives tale type family cures in the house where if you were sick, things that you would eat or things that your parents would say you need to have this and you'll feel better? Obviously chicken noodle soup is the one that everyone kind of relies back onto. I think for me as well, whenever I get sick in my family, it's just here's some grapes. Have some more grapes, have some fruit because of the vitamin C levels. Do you guys have anything that you fall back on when you are sick? So let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can try some of them. But make sure they're PGs. My throat feels so bad at the moment. Nothing that's going to irritate my throat or anything. But thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. Today's video is basically giving me everything. When it comes to me feeling fine, we get the quiet episodes so there's not much to break down. When everything kicks off, Becca feels rubbish and she has to break down absolutely everything. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying this season. Let's get straight to it because there's so much to do. Shout out to Silver and of course the cottage. I do miss it. I know last week I said everything right now in the series feels a bit claustrophobic, which I guess is the point, especially after what happens this week. Philomela snaps. I think that is the effect of being stuck inside a building or even your room. In the end, she doesn't really leave her room. The show feeling claustrophobic is very clever if that's actually what they intended for us to feel. I felt claustrophobic because we weren't going anywhere. It was day in, day out, taking lessons. We're back in the middle bit again. Oh, we're in a room again. Oh, we're back in a school again. And whenever we had these outside scenes, it really did make me miss the outside world. Very clever if that is actually what they designed. Now, the deep diving into Lucy's mind reveals a few little things. One, that we see one of the werewolves was actually protecting her, and the second one is it basically incriminated Philomela, at least to being there. So we don't physically see her kill anyone, but she's apologizing. Maybe she led them there. Maybe it's kind of her fault that they're there and they found her, and she's obviously part of it. So it incriminates her. We already knew this. I don't think a lot of the time things have been said that it's Philomela, and I don't think at any point Lucy knew it was Philomela, but kind of felt it was also implied. I know a bit later on as well where Rion doesn't notice it's Philomela until it's a bit too late. In the audience it seems really obvious, but I guess if you're living the moment it wouldn't be as obvious that it's her. I do also want to jump back on my werewolf train. Another question I also had kind of answered, and the anime was a little bit self-aware with this, is last week I condemned the place to be in pretty much like Hogwarts, where it's dangerous, people don't really care about the health of the kids. I did question why they hadn't really achieved anything, despite the fact that the school had been on crackdown for quite some time. And it is kind of revealed that the principal was kind of hoping that Philomela would just crack. I don't know if she knew it was Philomela. I got an inkling that maybe she did because she seems pretty smart. She doesn't have to do much. The reason why she's not actually investigating people is because she probably already knows who it is, because she got that letter from the grandmother saying, I'm withdrawing her from the school, which is a bit sus. But I did indeed liken the school to being a bit Hogwartsy, where they were just sitting back, not doing a great deal, and people were being attacked. I still want to put it on the same level, because even though it does work and she eventually cracks and she reveals herself, essentially, a lot of people get injured with her revealing herself. There's nobody monitoring her. Nobody also seems to be monitoring Philomela in general. Even though she starts skipping lessons, she hides in her room, she looks sick constantly. Not a single person is worried about her health. We're also told there's a doctor. I know we briefly saw her snooping around in the doctors. Maybe she was going to go to the doctors. It does seem that she doesn't. And if she's ill now, she kind of deals with it herself, which is probably part of the conditioning that she's been through. You would wonder if any of the tutors would be worrying about that one student who just stops showing up to class. I liked the amulet section, but it did feel like it was a little bit foreshadowing, and now that we've seen the whole episode, we know that anything made by Chisei kind of has a bit of her energy in it. When she makes these amulets, we are told these would be great for protecting Philomela at some point when she hands it over. I feel like that is going to come into play because she's now swallowed it. That's the thing that's going to maybe wake her back up again and make her realise that you need to stop. Our evil grandmother. This, I think, is the first big old twist. Put me back straight onto the werewolf train. The evil grandmother says that her son, Adam, is missing, and we definitely have seen this guy. I am 100%. This is the guy who was walking around with the witch, and he's a werewolf, and he helped her find the creepy hands and the bees, and they found out the fact that the book is still in the school. If this is actually her son, and if Philomela is her grandma, yes, she could probably have more than one son. That could happen. This makes Adam either a relative or her dad. And when she has a little moment where she can't see her family's face, but you can kind of make out it looks like him, if it's Adam, confirms that she has the possibility to be a werewolf. If it is true, I am going to high five Becca of the past for actually getting it right, because I didn't feel confident when I first proposed this idea. The curse also being explained felt twofold, telling us about Chisei and the fact that she's probably never going to get rid of her curse. I am still worried that that is going to kill her one day, and I think it's been hinted that it could. I am worried about it because we see what happens when a curse completely takes over this week. Both characters are dealing with a curse. The idea of the threefold law. Now, it's not actually said that this is the threefold law, but the idea that if you do something bad, the energy comes back threefold. This is something that is a Wiccan, a witchy belief. I think I've heard it a few times because I had a few friends who went through the Wiccan phase. A few of them went through these phases where they were very interested in it. It is still the belief that if you do something bad, it's going to come back around. Karma's going to get you. I think I like that because it also implies that if you do a lot of good things, eventually something good's going to come your way. But it might just be me being hopeful that good things are one day going to be on the horizon. She's done a lot of bad things. You can see that it's starting to come back. It's constantly causing her suffering. Her getting worse and worse and worse means that she's just finally paying back for the bad things that she's been doing. She's been doing it because she's forced to. When she does actually attack Veronica, I don't think she is involved with the book plot or the grandma thing. When she does actually attack her and she says, "I've always been scared of you," that initially shows you what the curse is feeding off, and it's that idea of the fear and how she's feeling and all that negativity that's built up within her. Moment where Veronica is knocking on the door and just saying Philomela over and over again. Either they've used the same clip and I couldn't be bothered to get her to record that line twice, or it really gave me the creeps the way that she was just knocking, saying her name, knocking, and she doesn't change tone and it sounds like they're using the same audio track. There was something creepy about it. She doesn't deserve being attacked. That she does get attacked maybe puts out that she's perhaps not to blame or not part of this plot at the very most. Her being attacked also would say that I've always been scared of you. I've always lived in this fear of you. That's negative. Veronica gives me the creeps so much. We do see that negative energy finally just snap, and it's the moment where she's just stood there with the face going blank and then she eats the amulet. It's where, oh, okay, this is it. This is the moment we've been waiting for, and all this time I've been complaining that the plot's been going at snail's pace. It just kicks off. You blink and you miss it, and it's suddenly we're deep into the plot now. Everything's kicking off. Philomela has gone wild, absolutely wild. The curse within her is now taken over. Her body going completely pitch black, like Chisei's arm, showing you that the curse has completely taken over. If she does manage to save her, though, it would make me wonder if it's possible that Chisei too could one day maybe be cured of her curse. Something goes completely wrong. The best place for the book, nobody sensed it because she was a created being. It was literally in plain sight. That insane book was in plain sight of absolutely everybody. That book has been near Chisei. That book has been near a lot of people. But you can see that it's been feeding off those negative energies, and it's finally got to the point where she's had enough. She can't take it anymore. And I guess that's the result of cabin fever, what the principal was aiming for. Her eating the amulet and her starting to crave more and more power is what ends up driving that thing to end up trying to rob the entire school of its magic. Her battens start coming off. They look like the fawns. They are really cool when she has snapped. I thought the design for Curse Philomela was actually really, really awesome, especially the one right at the end, which I'll go through in a moment. The moment she had cracked and you've got all these bits floating around her looking like she's literally been in that cage and she's throwing it open. Really, really nice effect, but we really do go from 0 to 60 in about less than a second. I didn't know if Chisei could sense that it was Philomela, if she actually had any idea, because her reaction at the end when Rion says who it is looks like she didn't know. So she just knew that the book was being used and was nearby. I don't know why Chisei didn't have any suspicions. Memory of Philomela being there. I knew it was Philomela because it sounded like a voice actor. Chisei doesn't know what young Philomela sounds like. I've got a vibe, and obviously the anime's given me that vibe, and it's been a bit obvious with us, the audience. Chisei's being pretty on the mark with knowing things, so I'm surprised not even she knew, and Rion as well doesn't know it's her. It is quite sad this week though, but we do get to miss out on the ball. Chisei's gown is glossed over. I would have loved to have seen a bit more of that. Did notice in the brief shot of the actual ball that they've got party rings on the table. You can't get more British than party rings at a buffet. I love party rings. I will happily eat them outside of a buffet. They are just awesome, but I can't stop myself. Once there's a pack of party rings on the table, I am just gonna go through the whole lot. I am uncontrollable. If you've got the ability to order party rings, just be careful. You're just gonna end up eating the whole lot because they're so yummy. Now, the moment, because I guess it's relevant to Attack on Titan, Philomela is literally encapsulating Eren Yeager right now. I've always hated you. Rion. That's all I could think of when I saw that moment. And she puts her hand up as well. I want to get a side-by-side of her and Erin next to each other because it felt like she was mimicking him. Doing her best, I've always hated you. I don't think that's... I feel like the curse has amplified everything, and that's actually not how she feels. It's made everything so extreme. Everything is magnified. I don't think she actually hates Rion. She probably just didn't want to be around him as a kid, and the curse has taken advantage of that, and it's now talking on its own. But I do love the design. I absolutely love that bone skirt. Looks so good. The blue dress, the bit at the back, the rags, looks amazing. Cage bit on her chest is really nice because it feels bony. It feels like thorns. It feels like I've been encapsulated. I felt trapped. Of course, it's a nice little nod to the OP where you've had her in a cage all the way through, and Philomela is the one within the cage constantly, making you think that maybe she's trapped within her own body, or it's leeching off her negative energy, and now that the curse is in control, maybe she's not aware of what's going on, and maybe next week we're going to be revealed that she's actually in there somewhere, but living through a nightmare or something. I thought this week was very, very good. There was lots of really good moments. Always kicks off when you're not really expecting it. I'm so ill right now. I really want to say more, but I'm struggling. I think I've got most of my important points out. This week's episode was awesome. I can't wait to see how it's all going to come to a head, because now that they all know it's Philomela, things are going to be very difficult for people like Lucy, who lost an entire family. Whether she's going to blame her or not, or whether she's going to even find out that she's linked. I think it's all coming to a head. We're going to start getting our answers. Really good episode. Quite a few little creepy moments too, which were nicely animated, the eyeballs. I like the moment where Chisei is just standing in the office, and then those vines, those like thorns come out of nowhere, and she senses it, and it's like, oh, I don't like this. The light goes blue for just a bit of coldness. Really like that moment. There's a lot of nice stuff in this episode. A shame that the plots had to drag so much. I understand why they've done it. Can't wait to see where we go now at a bit more of a quicker pace. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know your cold remedies down below. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.